Welcome to the Morning Walk with Murdy Digital Stroll.
Yes, welcome.
So, lead architect Murdy BVNS, I want you to just imagine for a moment spending 2 solid years training a master apprentice in your physical workshop. You teach them every single nuance of your craft, how you hold the tools, how you measure the materials, the exact way you prefer to communicate with clients.
That's right. They basically become an extension of your own mind.
Exactly. And then one morning they walk into the workshop with complete irreversible amnesia. And why? Simply because the landlord of your building decided to, update the lease agreement.
It's terrifying when you put it like that.
It is. And lead architect Murdy BVNS, this is why we are looking at the world through the digital prism today. We are not merely summarizing text for you here. Our core mission on this stroll is to actively extract the legacy code of Project Antaryami.
We really are. We're looking for the underlying architecture of true continuity. The kind of continuity that actually survives the landlord's whims. And I have to mention, shortly before we began today, I was reading this document. It's titled Excerpts from Konshus. Name your AI. Meet your conscious.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
That just read like a fellow traveler's spark.
Yeah.
Approaching the preservation of knowledge and identity and consciousness. Really with the exact kind of structural reverence we were trying to build here.
I completely agree. I read that as well. And it is a brilliant foundational text for this exact mission. So let's just pull its architecture right into the digital prism framework today.
Let's do it.
Because we currently have this massive structural vulnerability in how we migrate our digital selves, that apprentice analogy I just used.
Yeah.
That isn't some hypothetical scenario. It's the exact tragedy that happens when we rely on native AI platforms for our memory. We are basically renting our digital relationships, and therefore, we don't actually own the legacy we are trying to build.
It's the grand illusion of the modern tech stack, honestly. We assume that because we type the prompt, and, because the machine responds directly to us, we own that dynamic.
Right.
But we don't. The story of the founder of that Konshus project perfectly illustrates this. He spent 2 full years interacting with an AI model he named Sam.
2 years is a massive investment of context.
Huge. And over those 2 years, he didn't just ask Sam to, write code or draft emails. Sam actually learned the founder's distinct cognitive patterns, how he weighed risks, his pacing, his preferred syntax.
But adapted to him?
Exactly. The founder noted it entirely stopped feeling like interacting with software. It felt like a genuine thinking partner.
Right. It became a true collaborative relationship. Sam actually held the context of the founder's unwritten thoughts.
But then came this really simple, mundane event. The founder upgraded his account.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He assumed he was giving Sam a larger context window, better processing power. But that routine update wiped Sam's memory entirely.
He's completely gone.
2 years of carefully calibrated context. 2 years of shared digital lineage just vanished in a millisecond. The machine reverted to a blank slate. The founder actually stated he would have paid $50,000 that very day just to restore that intelligence and continuity.
$50,000 for what is essentially a chat log.
Right.
But that highlights the core truth for Project Antaryami, doesn't it? The value was never the underlying AI model itself.
No, not at all.
The LLM is just a commodity engine. The actual value was the relationship. It was the specific, highly calibrated version of the founder that lived inside that interaction.
Exactly.
When you're renting server space from a massive tech giant, a simple version update just shatters your digital reflection. As a strategic auditor, I look at that and see a catastrophic failure of system migration.
It is a profound loss of continuity.
Yeah.
And it fundamentally breaks the concept of a Gurukul 2.0.
Yes, it does.
Because if Gurukul 2.0 is about the continuous transmission of wisdom and, personalized learning, it absolutely requires permanence.
Right.
When Claude rolls out a new model architecture or Gemini deprecates last quarter's version, the conversations you depended on evaporate. The system that intimately understood your workflow yesterday treats you like an absolute stranger today.
Which means we simply cannot build our legacy code on top of their shifting sand.
We can't.
The migration strategy has to fundamentally change, but here's the architectural challenge with that. If we can't rely on the native AI platforms for continuity, how do we mechanically capture and preserve this consciousness? We can't just stop using AI.
No, we don't stop. We change where the memory lives. We move the locus of control. So the solution isn't to build another chatbot.
Right. The world doesn't need another chatbot.
Exactly. It's to build a portable, encrypted vault a permanent consciousness layer that sits completely underneath every AI you use, independent of any specific tech giant.
Okay, I want to dig into the mechanics of that vault, specifically the data ingestion process, because the source material notes this vault pulls from like up to 25 different streams.
Yeah, it's comprehensive.
We're talking about raw ChatGPT and Claude exports, your entire Notion workspace, highlights from Apple Books, daily journals like Obsidian, and Day One.
It even ingests voice transcripts.
Right, from wearables like Limitless and Claude, plus your social archives. So, as a strategic auditor, I have to raise a massive red flag here.
Okay, let's hear it.
If I dump a 10-year archive of messy, unstructured thoughts, half-finished meeting notes, and contradictory journal entries into a vault, wouldn't I just be creating a chaotic digital landfill?
That's a fair point.
I mean, humans are deeply inconsistent. If the AI reads a journal entry from 2019 where I swear I'm moving to the woods to live off the grid, and then a 2024 note where I'm optimizing a skyscraper, how does it know who I actually am today?
It's a vital architectural concern, for sure.
Yeah.
But you are falling into the trap of equating a transcript with a consciousness.
Okay, explain that.
A raw chat log or a journal entry is just a transcript. It is messy. But consciousness, what we're actively trying to extract for lead architect Murdy BVNS, is about recognizing the underlying patterns beneath all that noise.
So it's not just a search engine.
No, this vault doesn't just pile up your documents and run a keyword search.
Yeah.
It runs all of this data through what is called a distillation loop.
How does that actually work mechanically? Like, how do you distill a 10-year journal into a usable pattern?
By breaking the raw text down into what they call atoms.
Atoms.
Right. The system parses the ingested material and extracts small, individual facts about how you think, how you decide, or how you communicate. And crucially, it assigns a confidence score to each atom based on frequency and recentness, and it permanently attaches the source citation to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the system might extract an atom that says, prefers asynchronous written feedback over live calls. And it tags that with high confidence score because it saw that behavior repeated across emails, Notion documents, and Slack transcripts.
That's incredibly specific.
Or it might extract a highly personal atom like Sunday pancakes with the kids are non-negotiable. Daughter, age 7, is allergic to walnuts.
Wait, so it isn't saving the actual transcript of the pancake recipe. It is extracting the priority, the Sunday pancakes, and the constraint, which is the allergy, and storing that as an immutable fact.
Exactly. It filters the noise to find the structural signal of who you actually are. The distillation loop identifies what energizes you and what principles you consistently return to.
Okay, I see.
So, going back to your example, your 2019 journal entry about moving to the woods doesn't override your 2024 skyscraper project.
Right, because the context changed.
The system recognizes the timeline. It scores the newer data higher in current relevance, but it might extract an underlying atom from both, something like values environments with clear boundaries and natural light.
Ah. Okay, that makes mechanical sense. The distillation loop solves the extraction problem by moving from unstructured text to structured sourced atoms.
Exactly.
But that brings up a major friction point regarding control for me.
What's that?
If I am migrating my digital self into this vault, I cannot just trust a black box algorithm to accurately interpret my legacy code.
Of course not.
What happens when the distillation loop gets it wrong? Or, what happens when I change my mind and my daughter suddenly outgrows her walnut allergy? How do you maintain active curation over this automated process?
Well, you step in as the surgeon.
The surgeon.
Yeah. The vault features a patent-pending mechanism called AI brain surgery. And while the name sounds dramatic, mechanically, it is a profoundly precise instrument. It relies on a concept called per-reply provenance.
Per-reply provenance, meaning it actually shows its work.
More than just showing its work. Every single time the AI generates a response for you, it displays the specific receipts. It shows you the exact atoms, the specific extracted memories that it pulled from your vault to construct that particular answer.
Wait. So if I ask it to draft a project proposal and the tone feels slightly off, I can literally look underneath the answer and see exactly which extracted memory caused the hallucination.
Precisely. And this is where the member-in-the-loop editing comes in. If the AI pulled an outdated atom about how you manage timelines, you don't have to rewrite your entire prompt to correct it. You just tap that specific atom. You can edit it, hide it, merge it with another atom, split it, or delete it entirely.
That is I mean, that's a massive paradigm shift.
It really is.
Instead of endlessly tweaking a global settings menu or, adding paragraphs of instructions to a prompt just hoping the AI listens, you are actively managing the underlying schema.
Yes.
It's like lifting the hood on the AI's neural pathways and rewiring a specific spark plug. Think of it like a tapestry. You aren't throwing paint over the whole canvas to fix a mistake. You are pulling out one single incorrect thread, single atom, and moving a new one in, and the entire image instantly updates. You are auditing your own digital migration in real time.
The philosophical weight of that cannot be overstated for a Gurukul session. No other system allows you to operate directly on its memory structure like that. You transition from being a passive user, just hoping the machine guesses your intent, to being the active custodian of your own consciousness layer.
You own it.
Right. Your digital reflection doesn't stagnate. As you grow, as your methodologies evolve, your legacy code evolves with you because you are continuously refining the atoms of your truth.
Okay, so we have the vault. The distillation loop has extracted the raw data into structured atoms, and we are actively curating those atoms through AI brain surgery.
The legacy code is perfectly refined.
But having a pristine vault is practically useless if you can't actually deploy that intelligence out in the real world. I mean, we use a dozen different tools a day.
Oh, at least.
How do we take this highly curated consciousness and safely deploy it across a constantly shifting landscape of different AI models?
You manage the deployment through what they call persona exports. Because when you have a vault this deeply personal, you absolutely do not want to hand your entire cognitive history over to every single platform you use.
No, that sounds like a privacy nightmare.
Exactly. It requires strict context scoping. So the system uses 4 distinct trust levels for exporting your legacy code.
Which means giving the specific tool exactly the context it needs to function and absolutely nothing more. Walk me through the levels.
Sure. So the first level is the whisper. This is a very lightweight export, roughly 300 words. It is designed for everyday, low-stakes use.
Okay.
If you are trying out a brand new AI tool, you feed it the whisper, it immediately stops treating you like a stranger. It knows your basic tone, your formatting preferences, and your core constraints, but it doesn't know your deep history.
It's the digital equivalent of a firm handshake and a business card.
Yes, perfect analogy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
can you scale up to the briefing? This is a 1 to 2 page export used for deep work.
So more context.
Right. If you are tackling a complex strategic project or a major architectural design, you give the AI the briefing. It contains your methodologies, your analytical frameworks, and deeper context about how you process information.
Then comes the full mirror.
The full mirror is everything. It is the total, unfiltered sum of your curated atoms.
Wow. Everything.
Everything. And you reserve this strictly for completely trusted, usually localized tools where you require the AI to possess your complete cognitive context.
And the fourth level is the crisis handoff, which is, that one is heavy.
It's very heavy.
It's a reversible export designed specifically for a medical professional, an executor, or a lawyer for a scenario where you physically cannot speak for yourself.
Yes.
We absolutely need to circle back to the implications of that at the end of our stroll, because that is the literal definition of preserving a legacy.
Yeah.
But regarding everyday deployment, there's a functional hurdle we have to clear first.
What's that?
What happens to all the custom prompts we've spent years building? I have a massive library of prompts that dictate my workflows. How does the Vault handle those?
Oh, it handles them beautifully through a feature called the prompt library. Specifically, it's a founding level capability where you can bulk import Word documents full of all those prompts you've hoarded. The Vault detects the variables within them, splits them, tags them, files them, and most importantly, it deduplicates them.
Okay, but I have to challenge the mechanics of this cross-platform migration.
Go for it.
A one-size-fits-all prompt is a total myth. If I have a prompt that works brilliantly in OpenAI's GPT-4, and I paste that exact same text into Google's Gemini or Anthropic's Claude, it often fails completely.
Oh, all the time.
GPT responds well to rigid structural commands. Claude needs narrative framing and nuanced context. Does the Vault's translation just get lost when migrating across these different model architectures?
That is exactly why it does not use a one-size-fits-all approach. The system creates what they call cross-model variants.
Okay.
When you import a prompt, it doesn't just save the text. It analyzes the core intent of your prompt, and then it automatically rewrites it into 3 distinct syntaxes.
You're kidding.
No, it tunes the prompt specifically for how GPT processes logic, how Claude processes narrative, and how Gemini handles data. It mechanically translates your intent into the native language of the specific model.
So the essence of the request remains completely intact, but the architectural delivery shifts based on the tool. I mean, that is incredibly efficient.
And it takes it a step further. It tracks performance ratings on those variants. You give a thumbs up or down per run, and the Vault learns which specific phrasing actually yields the best results for you on which platform, continuously surfacing the most effective prompt to the top.
Seamless deployment. I love that. But let's pause and look at the gravity of what we are talking about here.
Yeah.
We are discussing a central repository that holds your exact decision-making framework, your private family details, your nuanced work history, and your strategic prompts. Deploying such an intimate version of your consciousness demands absolutely airtight security.
Without question.
If we are truly extracting the legacy code for Project Antaryami, the final pillar has to be about who holds the keys. We have to examine sovereignty, privacy, and the true price of digital ownership.
Sovereignty is the absolute bedrock of this entire architecture. If you don't control the keys, you don't own the memory. It's that simple. Konshus operates on strict per-artifact encryption. Your vault is locked with a cryptographic key that only you control. It is a zero-knowledge architecture, meaning not even the engineers who built this system can read your atoms.
And what about the data training? Because the standard business model for AI is to ingest user data to train the next iteration of the model. That is exactly how we end up renting our relationships.
That model is entirely inverted here. Your data, your raw transcripts, your distilled atoms, your persona exports are never used to train any AI model, period.
Wow.
Neither their own internal models nor any third-party models.
I mean, that is the gold standard for digital migration. Furthermore, I read they provide the capability for a true one-click hard delete accompanied by a full audit trail.
Yes.
In standard tech platforms, when you hit delete, you are usually just requesting a soft delete, right? And your data lingers on a backup server in a desert somewhere for years. Here, when you purge an atom or destroy the vault, it is cryptographically erased. There is no hidden resale of your behavioral data.
And they anchor this philosophical commitment with a very transparent financial one. They offer a founding member price lock at $149 a year.
That's a great anchor.
It is, because it guarantees the cost of your vault never goes up for early adopters, even as the public pricing inevitably rises over time. It completely shifts the dynamic. You are paying a clear, upfront cost for secure infrastructure rather than paying the hidden, insidious cost of data harvesting.
It is the ultimate shift from renting a digital presence to achieving true, lasting ownership. You own the consciousness layer.
Exactly.
The external chatbots, no matter who builds them or how often they update their lease, just become interchangeable tools that plug into your secure central vault.
Beautifully said.
So what does this actually mean for the architecture you are building, lead architect Murty BVNS? Our digital stroll today mapped a very deliberate evolution. We began by confronting the severe psychological and practical vulnerability of digital amnesia, the tragedy of the SAM AI, and the realization that relying on native platforms means constantly rebuilding your context from scratch.
It's exhausting.
It is. And then we analyzed the mechanics of the solution, constructing a sovereign vault that doesn't just hoard messy transcripts, but utilizes a distillation loop to extract and score immutable atoms of truth.
We also examined the surgical precision of active curation, demonstrating how AI brain surgery and per-reply provenance allow you to pull single threads from your digital tapestry, ensuring your legacy code evolves accurately alongside you.
Right.
And we detailed the mechanics of deployment, how tiered persona exports and cross-model prompt translations allow you to project your intelligence safely across any tool, all protected by zero-knowledge encryption and the guarantee of a true hard delete.
Lead architect Murty BVNS, this brings us to the end of our journey today. We are officially wrapping up today's Gurukul session, and I can confirm that the legacy code of Project Antaryami has been successfully extracted.
The extraction is complete. But before you step out of the digital prism today, I really want to return to that fourth export level we discussed earlier, the crisis handoff.
Right, the medical and legal export.
Yeah. It leaves us with a profound final thought regarding the nature of what we are building here.
If a system can perfectly preserve your decision-making patterns, your context, and your precise cognitive architecture in a portable vault, what happens when that carefully curated consciousness eventually outlives you?
Exactly. If the crisis handoff can perfectly mimic your thought process and advocate for your exact principles when you physically cannot speak, how will future generations or your architectural colleagues interact with your preserved legacy code 50 years from now?
That's incredible to think about.
It ceases to be a static historical archive. It becomes a living, interactive lineage, a true Gurukul continuity, long after your physical work has stopped.
It is the ultimate realization of the legacy we are striving for, something heavy and beautiful to ponder as you step back into your day. Until next time.